So I really couldn't film last night because my neighbor had his music so damn loud. It would have got copyrights from YouTube. I went over there to start up a derby car and just let it rev over there by his fence, but the wife told me don't do that. That's how you get the cops called. So I didn't do it because I'm a mature adult. So anyway, I got the rear sub out of this car, and loading this thing on the trailer is going to be horrible. Sub came out pretty nicely. No real complications. It's not super clean, but it ain't got no rust holes. So we got it installed in the car. We got all the trailing arms hooked up. Now when I put everything back together on these things, you guys can clearly see how well lubricated that is with anti-seize. Every bolt gets anti-seized, just in case I have to take it back apart. So everything's back together, except for the struts are not bolted in. So that's all I got left to do back here, is pretty much just bolt in the struts and then tighten everything down. I just left everything loose for now. But yeah, we will be doing this a little bit here. I got the sway bars back in, as you guys can see. Sway bars are, whatever, they're tucked way up there. Everything went back together pretty nicely. I'm going to throw out this rotted subframe. It ain't no good to me. But yeah, it's a big difference going from this to this. It is a world of difference. And you know, that piece there is going to make the back of this car actually probably double, twice as strong as what that would, because this would have given way, it would have ripped out. You have no support with this. So happy I fixed it. And I don't know, let's move on to something else. I guess I can put all these rear struts back in and stuff like that, but maybe I'll finish up the back of the car while I'm here and then just get this completely done. I'm going to break down that subframe, take all the trailing arms and everything off so it's actually lighter for me to carry, and I'll go put it in my parts Camry. That is still a good subframe. The only problem is I need straight trailing arms. If this was a used derby car, I'd have no problem putting those trailing arms in, but unfortunately it's not a used one, it's a brand new one. And if it was going to a small show, maybe, but not a big show like this. So I'm still going to keep that, though. And I'm going to throw this out. So I'm not really sure what's all happening in this video, because it kind of started 3 days ago. For this one episode, I started this video 3 days ago with the stripping of the car. Filling the VW was yesterday. Tearing half the rear suspension down was yesterday as well. But with my neighbor's loud music, I couldn't really make a video. I told my wife I was going to go over there and run my car super loud right against her fence, and she says, that's how you get the cops. So I didn't do it because I'm a responsible adult still. So anyway, we got the whole rear suspension in the car, all set back up, sitting on my donuts now. See if this side looks any better. So much rust out of the back end now, but now that everything has been taken apart, you guys know it will go back together and come apart much nicer. So yeah, back end is done. We're going to move on to other things now, like a gas tank for this, a cage for this. I think I'm allowed a back window bar. Going to have to read the rules. Battery box. I'm going to have to build basically all brand new ones because I don't really have any more laying around. So we're going to have to be building stuff for this car as we go. Front window bar is probably just going to be an old high lift. The shifter I got to get back off a gentleman I lent it to. We got the car pretty much completely cleaned out except for the driver's side floor. I want to get this thing basically rolling again here very shortly. Running, driving, and rolling. So then that way I can kind of open the driver's doors to be able to put stuff in and out. Because right now I can't really open the driver's doors because they hit the hoist. Well, since the derby that this car was going to go to kind of been canceled / postponed. Ugh. I've taken the cage out. I've taken the entire cage out of this thing. And what I've done with it is I've put it right there because it's going to go inside that car. So this car here is 3/4 of the way built now with no cage. So the plan is that this one's going to go to a different show now, but the cage that's in it is designed to go to a certain show, and with that show being postponed, I've taken the cage out to put into this car, but then the cage in the Illuminati, it was designed to go to one show, but because of how the motor's mounted, it can't, so that cage is going to go to here. which is designed to go to a different show. So a whole bunch of different rules. So basically, one of the main reasons why I'm swapping this is pulling all the cage out is because when I got this thing stuck in the mud, or I think it was when I was trying to pull it out of where it's been sitting for a long time, I kind of pulled on it really hard on an angle and kind of screwed up the front 6 inches of the frame. So the show that this car was supposed to go to, I can't really do anything to the front 6 inches. So the show that it's going to go to now, I can pretty much cut this off right there and throw that in the trash. So kind of a different ball game. But that is all hearsay. Anyway, this car here has now got no cage in it. Just got to get the rest of my tools out of it, and the entire cage is here, and it's going to be going in that car. It took me about 30 minutes to take out this cage, and that is why I love these bolt-in cages. You know, they're designed to be pulled out, swapped, replaced, and I never even jacked up the car. This is basically how I did it. I pulled it up, got my 2 wrenches and my impact socket. Zoom, 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 all undone. So we're going to go put this car away after we get out the rest of the tools, and we're going to get this cage ready to go into that car. That's right. This car here is now getting this cage. But my God, look at the springs in the front of this thing. They're broken all to crap. Still a lot of work to do to this, but you know what? It's going to be keeping me busy. So we have the cage sitting here. It is all just sitting here, pretty much not bolted together, just piece by piece by piece. And we have the uprights sitting in the car, and the post to post sitting in the car, but obviously not bolted in. And I'm kind of curious on how long it will take me to put this cage in, completely in, and have it tightened down and everything in it. So what we're going to do is we're going to probably start a timer, and we're going to start putting the cage in this. I might enlist some help between Corey and Trevor. I mean Eddie, sorry. Corey, Trevor smokes now! So we're going to see how long it takes us to put this in, but I am probably going to enlist some help. I'll probably start a timer here and then see how long this takes us, because I do love these bolt-in cages and it saves me so much time. So much time! So, let's get going.
The same old ways, colorly gray. The stick lamp, nothing will surely slowly fade away. We're only left to wonder, is this a life worth leading? Color me red, surely this last time is for something. Falling faster, barely breathing. Your his eyes now.
Eddie guessed 44 minutes, I guessed 34 minutes, and what does that timer say? 34 minutes, 33 seconds. So we got the cage in no time. Rocking the mullet, putting derby cars together. So this took us 34 minutes to put this cage in. Everything's bolted in tight, it's bolted through the floor, it's bolted through the roof, it meets the rules. It took 2 of us 34 minutes to put this in. And it's already in, it looks nice, it's set up. To put that in perspective, Steven and Corey have been working on this cage for an hour now. So far they have one upright in and one other upright cut. So that goes to show you how fast a bolt-in cage is compared to a weld-in cage. And the best part is he can't remove that. And if he does, he's got to cut the whole car apart to get that removed. Bolt-in cages are a big plus in my books, and if you get a good bolt-in cage like this one, they are very versatile and can pretty much go into any car. So, happy to say the cage is in the car and we're coming along. Shifter, I lent out a shifter to a buddy there last year. I think he's going to be bringing it back pretty shortly so I can get a shifter into this. The gas tank can be put into it now, and I can try to get this car running again because it actually hasn't ran now in about 2 weeks since it came into the garage. So we'll be doing a lot more work to it. But so far, cage in, cleaned up. All the rear suspension is done because there was broken pieces back there, like the subframe. So that was been all changed out. Now I got to turn my attention to the front subframe. I'm going to take everything apart, lubricate it, put it back together so that if anything goes wrong at the demolition derby, I can easily take parts apart without it breaking. Like last year at Mini Meltdown, I broke a tie rod because I did not take the tie rod apart before I went there to make sure that it was easy to take apart. And then when I tried to take it apart, it actually snapped. So I'm going to be prepping this car because it's got to run heats. So when you got to run big heats at a big show, if something goes wrong, you're going to be kind of out of the money if you can't fix it. So thanks for watching, guys. Make sure you come back tomorrow and we'll be doing more work on this car and getting it farther and farther along, more ready for the demolition derby. So thanks for watching, everybody, and we'll see you back here tomorrow on Zach's Workshop.